Hello everyone. I hope everybody is okay. So before starting the presentation, I would like to introduce Future Shift Labs. Um, we are basically an India-based think tank and searching for technology and political innovations, especially for political campaigning. And I also want to introduce the topic that I searched for months, which is, I believe, like one of the first research in the literature, according to my research, because it was really compelling for me to find related research to take reference on, which is how agentic AI is going to transform political campaigning and future of political communications. And I'm working at FSL Future Shift Labs as a researcher. And this research was one of the first initiative I took under the name of FSL. And I also want to introduce our speakers as well, Mr. Divyendra Singh. He's a political consultant and he's also exactly doing what I research. Like he is forming the AI into robots, like humanization of AI. We will discuss during the research. And Mr. Sagar Vishnoi, he is the head, founder of Future Shift Labs. Unfortunately, Matthias Lip couldn't make it today because his flight is delayed and he's stuck in airport. But he reached to us, so instead of him, thankfully, Mr. Sagar will attend with us today. And so I want to start to present my own research. So I believe this is one of the most top topic of the future of democracy and political campaigning because we cannot left behind by the technological innovations, and agentic AI is one of the first improvement which is going to affect the future of political campaigning. And I conducted this research under the name of Future Shift Labs. So I want to say thank you for everyone who helped me to come up with this project. And I want to start the evolution of AI. To understand where we are today, we need to trace the evolution of AI in politics. Political AI especially has evolved through the three distinct waves over the past 15 years. The first wave from 2010 to 2018 brought us predictive AI. These systems helped campaigns analyze voter data and predict turnout patterns. They were powerful analytical tools, but they remain firmly under human control, essentially sophisticated calculators for political data. The second wave is 19 to 23, introduced generative AI. These systems could create dynamic content and adapt in real-time based engagement metrics. However, they still required human prompting and supervision, such as ChatGPT. People use mostly these tools to write campaign emails, campaign slogans, as far as I researched through the political consultants. But now we entered the third wave, which is agentic AI, and this represents a quantum leap. Like in my research, Mark Purdy explains this as these AI systems that can act autonomously to achieve goals without need for constant human guidance. This means AI is transitioning from assistant to actor in political communications. Let me explain through this perspective. The first usage in global we saw, the Argentina 23 election, was the first major electoral contest where AI played documented substantial role. This wasn't just AI helping with campaigns. This was AI making strategic decisions independently to change the conception. So this is the evolution of AI and how it started and come to the current time, present time. So what makes agentic AI different? So this is kind of the comparison between artificial intelligence and agentic artificial intelligence. First, autonomous initiative. These systems don't wait for commands. So fourth is, as I said, this is continuous learning of AI, and like it tracks and memorize the memories. And we saw the whole political consultants and campaigners, they mostly tend to use this qualification of AI to write the slogans and send the emails. And this is like one of the biggest distinction between agentic AI and traditional AI, which we will be seeing in the next slide. It's humanization of AI. This system can process millions of data points simultaneously, while human campaign manager might review polling data from a few key districts. Agentic AI analyzes social media sentiments, news coverage, demographic shifts, and voting patterns across entire nations in real time. And no human can match with this. This is the key point. They operate without like bias or emotional swings. They are 24/7 political machines. While human stuff needs like rest, these systems monitor political environments and respond to developments around the clock without any performance degradation. But I added in the research, I kind of personally believe that we need human interaction, because what we do as political consultants to get in touch and get in touch the emotions of the human beings. So these tools only itself cannot solve the like whole problems, especially in the political election industry. Like most remarkably, they can personalize messages to millions of voters individually. Like imagine crafting a unique political message for every single voter based on their specific concerns, values, and communication preferences. Like it's a current capability. Also, in my research, one of the political consultants who I interview with, he also specifically told me to this quality of AI. They sent messages to individuals for mayor elections. They sent messages by using AI videos of the mayor candidate, and he sent his video by each individual for their respective needs. Like, oh, I know you have like economic issues. I know your son is looking for a job, and I will be finding jobs for your son. This type of. So the person who is behind this has to use like positive impacts as well. Like we will come to like this chapter again. And this is the market explosion. Like let me share some market data that shows how seriously the industry is taking into this. According to Market US, the global agentic AI market is projected to grow from $5.2 billion in 2024 and 196.6 billion by 2034, like 10 years after. That's a compound annual growth rate of 43.8%. This explosive growth means these systems will be deployed across political campaigns globally in like unprecedented pace. According to recent CEO earnings calls, agentic AI significantly climbed into mentions in Q4 2024, like indicating this mainstream business adoption. This speed, like it cannot be tracked. It's going to go more and more, especially in US and Southeast Asia. We see it's more grasped compared to like Western Europe and Eastern Europe. Can we? So this is also one of the most important chapter of this research. Now, like we must confront the dark side of this revolution, which is the fundamental challenges to trust and transparency. The black box problem is like critical. We literally cannot see how these systems make decisions. When an agentic AI decides to launch a negative campaign, add or shift messaging strategy, the reasoning often remains like opaque, even to its own creatures. Attributions becomes nearly impossible. Traditional politics assumes we can identify who is responsible for political messages, but when AI generates controversial content or makes strategic decision, that backfires. Like, how do we trace back responsibility? The decision might involve complex chains across multiple AI systems and companies. Like currently, especially transparency efforts are wholly inadequate for autonomous systems. We are trying to govern Formula One race cars with traffic laws, basically designed for horse-drawn carriages. Here is the fundamental question, especially it was the fundamental question for this specific chapter. If we can trace decisions, how can we have democracy? Like democratic accountability requires knowing who makes decisions, right? I obscure this fundamentally, like especially AI obscure this fundamentally. And I think this is the like most questionable part of it. Transparency isn't just a nice feature, but it's a democratic legitimacy. We can go to democratic implications chapter now of this agentic AI profound and potentially revolutionary in terms of democratic implications. We are witnessing nothing less than a potential shift from human to algorithmic sovereignty. This hyper-personalization is fragmenting into public sphere. When every voter receives completely different political information tailored to their psychological profile, we lose the shared reality necessary for democratic deliberation. There is no common ground when there is no common information, basically. We risk creating what I call post-human democracy systems where humans are nominal but not actual decision makers. The like Argentina elections, again, I'm still coming up to that, was an example already shows AI can swing the elections. What happens when AI systems are making like most political decisions in future? Like, let me explain you a provocative scenario. Imagine AI agents casting votes based on their analysis of your interest. The AI knows your values, your priorities, your preferences, like better than you do because we add the data, we keep add the data every day. And AI knows your values. Again, as I said, it negotiates with you, evaluates policy positions and makes the optimal choice, like how it's going to sustain the democracy then. Our research found that AI system is operating 24/7, create dangerous supervision gaps where autonomous systems operate without meaningful human oversight. We are not enhancing democracy by this way, but potentially replacing it with something fundamentally different, which rises the global inequities. And it's in the next slide. According to recent analysis, 150 countries faced restrictions on accessing advanced AI chips due to export controls. This creates two-tier world like AI-capable nations and AI-dependent ones. It's digital colonialism in a purest form, basically. And political systems in less technology, advanced nations risk being controlled by foreign AI like Eastern European countries, for instance, rely entirely on Western countries' AI infrastructure. Eastern European countries, like basically, they influence from the Western infrastructure, let's say. Think about the implications. Imagine a country being able to switch off your technology, your health system, your finance system, your military system, political system. Sovereignty becomes meaningless if your political system run on another nation's AI. This digital divide is becoming democratic divide, basically. Some citizens will experience sophisticated AI-mediated politics, and while others remain excluded from these technological developments. It fundamentally shapes political power and democratic participation. Also, AI inequality threatens very principle of a global democratic equality. How can we speak of democracy as a universal value when access to democratic technologies is so dramatically unequal? Because it was also one of the problem of this research. Not every country grasps this technological device. So interviewing with different respective political consultants, like different political consultants from the globe, it was also a bit challenging for me. We can move on the new slide. And I will give like international examples, the next one. Yeah. So like Argentina 2023 elections marked the first AI dominant election campaigns, not AI assisted, but AI dominant. This is our glimpse like into the future. Current applications are like transformative. We are seeing hyper-personalized messaging delivered to individual voters based on their specific concerns. AI systems conduct real-time sentiment analysis across all social platforms simultaneously, then guide instant strategy pivots without human intervention. Think about for a moment, we are not just talking about campaigns that using AI, we are talking about voters delegating their political decision making into AI agents. Imagine AI agents negotiating like with each other. So your personal voting assistant AI talking to a candidate's campaign AI, working out which candidate best matches to your value. So we can move on to new one. Like the governance challenges we face are unprecedented, and our current frameworks are wholly inadequate for the task. Let me tell you like this, US has no federal rules for AI in political campaigns. Non-federal election commission recently declined to regulate even obvious issues like deepfakes in political advertising. We are in a regulatory vacuum while the technology races ahead. For instance, China, international coordination is fragmented and ineffective. While China is implementing mandatory AI labeling laws effectively, most nations lack even basic exceeds regulatory capacity. Like our regulators often don't understand what they are trying to even regulate. So the governance gap widens daily. Every moment we delay, these systems becomes more embedded in our political infrastructure, making future governance exponentially more difficult. So yeah, future scenarios. Like the first trajectory, AI's functional representatives. Imagine AI systems representing marginalized communities who lack traditional and political voice. And AI could aggregate and articulate the interests of these disrespected groups more effectively than human representatives. Second is AI is demonstrating superior policy analysis. What happens when AI consistently produces better policy recommendations than human legislatures, basically? And third is advanced AI claiming rights. This is not a fantasy. This is like what I highly predict what's going to be in future, which is the reason why the name of this research is Agents Wants to Vote. Like fourth is AI solving democratic inefficiencies. AI could address persistent problems like short-termism terms, corruption and interest groups capture, but at what cost, like human agency? This is the questions that I am planning to ask to you as well. Like here is my thought. If AI can reason better than like humans about policy, understand constituent needs more deeply and make decisions without bias or self-interest, why it's not participating in the governance fully, why governments are not fully adapting into their like public policy systems, for instance. And can we move the second one if it's okay? Like, so we will be discussing with you about, like, I will be asking to you questions about this. There's, I think, five critical points. First is agentic AI represents a paradigm shift, not in incremental, that like not instant change, but we are not dealing with better tools, but fundamentally different political actors. Like second is market is forcing. It's not going to protect the democracy. Third is current governance frameworks are inadequate. It's not equal in all around the globe. And fourth is human agency must be like actively preserved. And we cannot track like if it's going to be survived or not. So thank you for listening my presentation. If you're interested, I can also share with you the PDF document, which is published on Future Shift Labs. And yeah, I want to ask both of you, like I want to take both of your opinion and I want to ask questions, both of you in this regard. How do you want to move on? Like I planned in my mind first one by one. Can
Whatever.
I first, like, can you also introduce yourself first for the like people, if it's okay?
Sure. We can start with Devendra.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Devi, and I'm the founder of Polymath Synthetic Media Solutions. We started with creating deepfake content for advertisement industries. Then during Indian general elections, we switched and pivoted to providing AI services for political parties. And since then, we have been working with political parties, and along with that, we are into AI integration and automation for different industries. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sure. I'm Sagar Bishnoi, and I'm right now co-founder and director of Future Shift Labs. It's a think tank which is doing research on AI and its impact on society, as in like how it's going to impact elections, how it's going to impact governance, education, all in all, working on the intersections of AI and society. Right. So we are doing research on different subjects. We are doing capacity training. Like few days back, we trained election observers and commissioners from Central Eastern Europe and Africa regarding election security and how to safeguard themselves from AI and how to use it for good. So yes, regarding this, we also came out with a very interesting research, like how AI impacted political campaigns in 2024. We came out this with this research in uh, January. It got launched in Cape Town conference, IP 2025, and then again it got launched in Delhi. And right now, like we have worked on this uh, research called Agentic AI and how it's going to impact political campaigning and elections. So yes, that's my introduction. Thank you so much. Yes, we can begin with the questions. Asking.
Yeah, thank you so much for explanation. First, I want to ask the questions to Devi. In my research, I have a term called like embodiment fallacy, like people not recognizing AI's political agency because it lacks physical form. Like human beings are literally expecting to see a robot, basically. They don't take like I'm as speaking of the citizens, they're not taking AI like seriously. So I want to ask, by making AI so convincingly human, aren't you kind of accelerating the timeline where people can't distinguish between human AI and political actors? Because I know your initiative is like kind of turning to AI into some humanized form.
Yeah, so yeah, embodiment fallacy, it's real, and people tend to believe if something doesn't have body, it doesn't have real influence. But we are already living the future now with the new advent of new tools that have come out and new robotic companies that have started integrating AI into their systems, it's even for us, it's very difficult to distinguish between what is real and what is not. So it's very difficult for us as well. And about see, it is already there. It's already there. We can't say we are not because I've just seen a recent Google tool that has given an illusion of real embodiment. So, and see, AI doesn't need a body to shape opinions and influence decision making. See, because many nowadays on social media, there are a lot of AI is already shaping millions of minds every day with the reels they watch, the stories they believe, the recommendation engine, the micro targeted ads. Currently, we have seen a lot of content creators. They are creating content, and most of the people think that they are creating content to please the audience, but it's not like that. They are creating content to please the algorithm so that they pass on to wide audience. So currently, we are already in the trap of AI without body, even if we believe it or not. We are already working under it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. My next question to Sagar is also related with that. So as you said, you've been working in this industry for like years, and I also personally like wonder what made you to discover and research on why this AI specific tool is affecting political campaign and political communications. Like what patterns did you observe in those rooms that made you realize AI would fundamentally change the political communications? What was the spark? That's the question. Yes.
Sure. Thank you so much, Askim. So in the last 12 years, I was working in this industry of like political consulting and consulting different Indian politicians and even a few politicians from Southeast Asia and even Europe. Right now I'm not because I'm like completely into research and capacity building and global cooperation related to AI. But what I have understood from even one of the campaign we did, which was like world's first AI campaign officially, right, for Manoj Tiwari, and even after that we like tried multiple campaigns for different clients. So AI is making there are few parts. Like, of course, it can be used for data analysis. Of course, it can be used for making communications more easier, right? Making your campaign more productive, and of course, cost effective, right? So these are few of the ways. And like recently, we are seeing a lot of campaigns based upon AI, whether it is related to communications, whether it is even understanding or even tapping. Uh, what we call like in a political rally, how many people are coming and what is the sentiment analysis of it, so that the even political leader can get real time feedback of it, right? So we are observing in real time a lot of even the conversational AI campaign, right, which even Devendra tried in multiple parts. So there are so many techniques and tactics through which AI has become part of overall political messaging or political campaigning, right? And it is more seen in the Indian or Southeast Asian part of the world, because the overall area, the overall geography is very unregulated, right? When you go to Europe, the overall GDPR compliance and EU AI Act, because of that, not much innovation are taking place in political industry, right? And not much, they don't have much to even try, right? Because it is something very new, even for the audience, for the people, and even for the political leaders. When we go towards Africa, there are many cases, but yes, because the overall uh, they are a bit reluctant towards innovation, though even the audience is more receptive to it. But yes, political leaders are reluctant. So yes, we are seeing again less uh, we can say like the observation of these AI innovations into political circle or industry. When we go to the US, North and South America market, in US there are particular companies. There is even a VC fund for it. There are pool of companies which are under a big umbrella, right, which are getting funding of it, and there are laws which are being created. The like the FCC ban, the robocalls, the Take It Down Act, the different states are creating laws now. Those are in process. Okay, so there are no particular law related to AI campaigning, but yes, they are in the process of like first regulate AI, then regulate this particular technology into the political field, right? But with the arrival of agentic AI, I think it will be again like a slippy slope. It will be having a lot of advantages of automating your brains. Right. And of course, I believe in the Indian context and even the South Asian context, the AI is a part of the overall strategy. It's not overall strategy. Right. So it's a one of the part. And we have seen few examples from around the globe like Argentina, Slovakia, Mauritius, Romania, where AI has impacted the outcome of the results. Right. But it's still in this part of the world, it still is one of the strategy of the overall strategy, which is like a lot being used here. So but because of our like country's democratic values, I don't think we will be having a lot of problems. But in the nearby countries or the countries which have more closed approach, they can have problem because of this. That we have seen in the Mauritius elections and even the Romanian elections, where the even the elections got cancelled because one of the candidate spread a lot of AI content on TikTok, got 23% vote, and surprisingly, when the election commission found out of Romania that the candidate is Russian propaganda or the Russian supporter, so they completely cancelled the elections and they reconducted it. Right. So yes, like the arrival of agentic AI is going to automate more effectively, but yes, it the regulation have to become part, right? So that it don't get out of hand. The technology is here to augment humans' work, not to make things go way in a wrong way.
Yeah, thank you for the explanation. Like you brought up the topic that I want to ask next to the Devi, that you teach people to create deep fakes while also warning about its misuse. So with Agentic AI, we're not just talking about like fake videos, right? We are talking about like autonomous systems, as also Sagar mentioned, that could manipulate entire electoral process. Like, how do you see your role evolving from teaching deepfakes, creating to potentially defending democracy against agentic AI manipulation? Like, how do you see its future?
Yeah, so actually we stopped teaching deepfakes 2 years back. We back at that time when we started creating, basically our main motive was to create a talent pipeline so that we can hire and work with. But as AI evolved, so did I, and then I realized that the same tools that we are using for joy, humor, and spreading awareness, the same tools can be used for deceptions and a lot of unethical works. So then we stopped that, but in under our new vertical school of AI, we are teaching like much bigger and meaningful things like building AI agents and a lot of other things, AI powered apps and other things. But yeah, the future of agentic AI, where everything is autonomous. We have not reached to that point where we have given the complete autonomy. We still have control, but in the future, definitely, it's not you. You are correct. It's not just about the fake videos because it will be the future. I'm afraid of the future where everything, like the systems, the fake narratives will be created by machines and believed by the people who never learn to question them. So it's very, see, it's an interesting time for me. Like it's a huge wave and we don't even know what will happen in next few days. So I'm just hoping for the best.
Thank you for explanation. One thing what I noticed also people who is working in AI and technology and this politics industry that they also don't know what's gonna happen, but it's still so interesting to like discover. And the next question I also want to like as to Sagar, because I know the India as a country, it's already like like must be so complicated. And what you guys are trying to doing, it's I think so fascinating, especially like Sagar, you're currently conducting deepfake detection workshops for law enforcement agencies, election officials, and with women's group. I know in local Indian women, you are like working in India? And how do you balance educating these people about AI threats while also exploring its positive use cases? This is like what I genuinely wonder.
So yes, it is very tough to keep up with the pace of technology because the innovations which are taking place almost daily, regulations are not matching up with the pace of technology innovations and even AI innovation, right? So it's very important to keep mitigating the risks like how even for FIMI can happen, like foreign interference can happen, right? What we have seen in the case of Slovakia and Romania, right? How Russia tried to influence the elections of Eastern European countries, and risk like how deepfake shouldn't be there. Like there was a case in India where after the elections, MLA from Rajasthan, Ritu Banawat, deepfake came out, right? And I think like even Devendra knows a lot about it, like even how people start pointing out onto that MLA, onto that political leader who was holding the office, right? Even recently, we have a deepfake came out of Ikra Hassan, who is a member of parliament from Western UP, right? So it becomes very important understanding the AI literacy part and regulation part both. That election commission should come out with the clear guidelines. So we came out with a policy paper we gave, where we gave guidelines to the election commission, which they accepted, and they came out with the what we call the recommendations for which are going to be implemented, in the guidelines which are going to be implemented in Bihar elections, in the upcoming Bihar elections in October and November, right? But it is very important to keep up with the pace, right? So we are also conducting it's very important to uh, aware not only the law enforcement agencies, as those are the primary, or what we call the front line uh, people who are going to see such defects, or who are going to face such risk before the elections, during the elections, and after the elections even. But the election commissions, the election officials, and even judges, right? So we are doing a lot of AI awareness and AI literacy campaign around it into India, in even Africa and Europe. We have also been receiving a lot of inquiries from African and European election commissions individually to conduct such awareness programs in person, so that they can also frame clear guidelines regarding it, right? So I believe like the risk will increase, and even with the arrival of agentic AI, such risk will increase, right? Because even with the like with a single or simple prompt, you can say to the agentic AI like Manus or Runner that create a video dialogue replacement, or create a AI generated video of this particular political leader, and send it to, and you can plug in your database and send it to maybe 10,000 people, and it will send it in like, I believe, like 1 or 2 minutes. So yes, like there has to be regulation regarding the agentic AI part as well, just like the AI is getting regulated, but that too in a very it has to happen in like keeping up with the pace of the arrival of such tech innovations. I would also like to ask Devendra if he can show us some of the agentic AI tool in real time so that we can understand that, okay, this is how agentic AI actually works. And if we can present something where any prompt related to politics or political campaigning so that people get to know, okay, this is the like first step how the agentic AI is being used in elections or political campaigns.
Okay, so let me share my screen on my other system. I'm just joining to another system. So I'll be showing you few demos. So there are some tools, agentic tools, where you can just write a prompt and you'll get to see the agents performing different tasks, be it research, be it creating anything, documentation or everything. So there are two, three tools like GenSpark AI, Runner Edge, or the Manus. So I've created a prompt. Let's try a complete new just generate a PRT or AI payments strategy for to have. So this is context engineering. First, we'll have to give context about it, what prompt you want to give. So just well, I'll take this data and I'll just paste it in Manus, and we'll see real time. It will use browser and okay. Now you can see. Will create whole campaign strategy, everything on its own. It will take time. It takes time, but it creates a lot of data. It does a highly detailed research, and there are a lot of similar tools, and you can see what's going on live. It has its own system where you can see. Let me show it to you. Meanwhile, it's doing its work. Let me show you another thing, the agentic tool that we have created. This is our voice command program. Meanwhile, we'll see the results of menus. It will take some time, and let me show it to you. Okay, voice command program. So this is the screen. Currently, there are some files, and I'll start. Now, see, earlier, when these AI tools, LLMs came, they were just giving us the text. They were not able to take actions, but now I'll run this command. I'll give voice command, and it will create games, research, whatever we want.
This is online. How can I connect?
Create a GUI based calculator program and save it. So this is the basic command that I
Create guide-based calculator program, save it.
it will create the program. As you can see, it has created a file which I can run just by typing Python. And it has created calculator. It's already running. So it's already in the creation process. So now you can see it has created the calculator. It is just a basic program, but let me show its more powers. Okay, now your goal is to create a complete AI strategy for Bihar elections according to what services we can provide as Indian deepfaker and save it in the directory. And yeah,
Now, your goal is to create a complete AI strategy for our elections according to what services we provide as Indian deviker and save it.
meanwhile, you can see Menace is also doing its work. It has created PR election strategy.
AI strategy successfully created, saved in my heart AI strategy. This
So,
strategy outlines how Indian provide services such as hyper real-time capabilities to
so this was some about the program. We can do a lot of tasks with voice command, and this is Menace. It is doing real-time research. You can see it has its own browser and own server. It is doing on its own. It is researching papers and uh, creating content based on that. These are all the files. It will take like 10-15 minutes, but it will create like more than 100 files. And it's pretty much interesting how with just a single prompt, it is taking actions. And other than this, there are systems like we have AI calls. Like with just a single click, we can send. This is our new tool that does my AI calls. So we can send with this tool, we can send thousands of calls with just a single click, and AI will be talking to. So we can create complete campaign strategy. We can upload a CSV of names and numbers and add context. And based on that, we can send just with a single click, we can send thousands of calls. And each and every call will be personalized to the user. Uh, but I don't know if I can share the live call.
And these will be two-way calls, like conversational calls.
Yes, so I don't know if you can hear that, but let me give a call to myself. Hello, hello, hello.
नमस्ते देवी जी। मैं बेटी बोल रही हूँ। मैं राजस्थान में एमएलए चुनाव के लिए हमारे राजनीतिक नेता के ऑफिस से बात कर रही हूँ। क्या मैं आपके साथ कुछ बातें शेयर कर सकती हूँ?
Can you talk to me in Turkish?
मुझे खेद है, मैं जगदीश भाषा में वार्तालाप नहीं कर सकती हूँ।
Okay.
ऐसी मैं हिंदी या अंग्रेजी में आपकी
Okay.
मदद कर
Okay, talk to me in
सकती हूँ।
talk to me in English then. Why did you call?
Sure, I can continue in English. I called to talk to you about the upcoming MLA elections in Rajasthan. Our political leader is very keen on understanding the concerns and aspirations of the local people. We believe that your insights and feedback would be invaluable in shaping our policies and initiatives. Would you be willing to share your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have any idea about this call. Are you real or an AI?
I understand this might be a bit unexpected. I'm actually a virtual assistant here to provide information and gather feedback for our political team. My aim is to communicate messages.
Okay, so this was a sample demo. I've basically I've logged it to speak only in Hindi and English, but it can talk in 117 languages, and it is two-way communicating. It is unlike the calls that were previously being made, which were pre-recorded. So whatever we are doing, we are not doing something extra. We were doing which were already there, but we have added some agentic things. And other than this, it can book appointments. And see, before that, in India, there was no way to get the problems of each and everyone, every voter. It was very difficult because these policies are made based on the particular region or number of people. But now with this, the government can get data and get the problems, what are the issues, local issues of people, each and every voter. And based on this, they can create schemes and manifestos according to that. So this was our idea. But see, it is much more dangerous than deepfakes because if someone gets hands on it and if they try to use it in let me stop my screen first. If they try to use it for deceptive purposes, it could be much more dangerous. Like you can send more than a million call with just a single click, and each and every call will be, you can just by writing a prompt, you can make it mean say anything, and you can make calls in anybody's voice. So let's for example ask him was talking. If I took a screen record and just took 15 seconds of audio, I can send the calls in the voice of asking as well. So this can be used for illegal unethical purposes as well, and it is being used. So we initially we did campaigns with this technology, but we got afraid and we stopped the campaign in the middle. So yeah, these were some of the examples of agentic AI that we are working on.
I mean, now I have my own personal questions. It's going to last longer if I ask all of them, but I think some people have questions, so if it's okay, if you can answer. Yeah.
Yes, Prince.
Hi, thank you so much for the time. It has been a wonderful session. I was wondering about the term called agent AI agent versus agentic AI. Like, I'm very much interested into AI in politics. I was researching a little bit about agentic AI. Then I came across the term called AI agents. So, how are they different from agentic AI in terms of function or in terms of their algorithm? That's the first question. Secondly, I wanted to know, I mean, is Divi's platform publicly available? Like the one where he was giving the voice command and getting things done. Is that publicly available or is it still at development phase?
Yeah, so for your first question, see, currently these AI terminologies, their definitions are not fixed. Like we have seen vibe coding, it's a new term, agentic AI and AI agents. Everybody have their own definition of it. But basically, when it all started, first there were only LLMs, which were only outputting text, giving the text as output. Then came the multimodal AI, which had the multimodality of voice, speeches, images. Now, then came AI agents, where there are group of LLMs working together to perform a complete task. So let's say, for example, earlier ChatGPT didn't have the option to do online search. So, but now that search is a tool. Now it can take action. It can do search. It can book appointments. There are some other tools that can do a lot more than that. So these are known as AI agents. And when we talk about agentic AI, so it's a complete architectural system where everything is autonomous, and it is much bigger than AI agents. AI agent can be doing one particular task or two or three tasks. But when we talk about agentic AI, it is a group of AI agents working for a bigger goal, and they have a bigger architecture. But still, the definition is not fixed. Everyone have their own version of definition of these things, similar to AGI. And your second question about our actually, it is in building stage, but it is publicly available right now. But we have not given access to. So basically, we are giving access to few limited people. But yeah, it's available online,
Oh, let Devi, thank you so much.
most of it.
All right. Okay. So if it's okay, I will keep going by Saga right now. And is there any questions? Like after this session, we are going to like receive all the questions from the participants anyways. So I'm just moving forward now. Um, so Sagar, your recent like I want to speak about the US context because both of you I know have like experience in that. Like your recent research shows that AI generated propaganda is exacerbating societal divisions, particularly in highly polarized countries like US, United States. With your experience across India and global research, how do you differentiate political cultures and democratic systems respond to AI-driven manipulation? Are there any regional approaches that work better than others, do you think?
Yes, I believe like few things are common understanding the safeguards, right? So, first of all, it's about the AI and its data, right? So, AI is taking all the data from the internet, and the internet itself has very polarized data, right? Data which is not supportive to marginalized sections, which is not supportive to gender and other minorities, right? So, it is creating its own AI system or AI ecosystem very polarized, which can be further used by the political parties or AI campaigns to create more polarization if, impacting the social fabric. Then further, the approach is very different in different contexts, right? So there is very low innovation in European side. Okay, in the Southeast Asians, there is a lot of unregulated mechanisms, but yes, they are trying to, like even in India, the overall AI governance system is evolving. Election commissions is taking note of it and coming out with guidelines. Candidates are spending a lot of money, but yes, like they have a committee where there is a restriction over political financing. It has to be very different because yes, the speed at which AI can polarize is a very faster speed. And yes, there are different approaches taken by United States, how they are not only doing the awareness part, but they are also passing out laws, and that too very fast. They are doing a complete blanket ban. Like in South Korea, they did a complete blanket ban on using AI social media or AI related things into their elections last year in April. Okay, in US, they are coming out with like a multi-stakeholder uh, initiatives in bringing out the laws, in even like holding out the accused, and uh, creating different laws so that accused can be like further punished if the guilty is proven. And even the Take It Down Act related to deepfakes, even they are thinking about how to make separate laws for the AI political campaigning so that it should be restricted. So it will be related to different geographies. Something will work out in some particular geography, like how US is working out in their geography may not work in Indian part, right? So we have to consider the Indian part, the Indian data onto AI, and then work out on a strategy which works along with in our own geography.
Yeah, thank you, Sagar. I also want to ask the similar questions to Devi as well, because he also served clients from the US in political parties based in India. In my presentation, I also presented that the research highlights that how 150 countries face AI chip restrictions, creating digital colonialism in the literature. How do you see agentic AI either perpetuating or potentially breaking this technological dependency?
Uh, Currently, yeah, you are totally right. There is digital colonialism that we feel. Initially, when I started learning, I never thought about these things because I was grateful that I have the access to use AI. So that was a big thing for me initially. But after then, I came to know that it's not just about the software, but it's about the chips as well and GPU compute. And when I see it, it feels like you have taught someone to drive a car, but every time if I want to go, I have to rent the car, I have to buy the petrol, I have to use the GPS by the company who owns the road. So it doesn't feel a complete freedom. It kinds of digital dependency. And see, it is a big problem, but still we have to rely on, in terms of certain models, for certain models, we have to rely on GPU compute by the big players. But this agentic AI nowadays, I've seen a lot of shift because of these open source models, open weights, and AI-driven communities, which are working and giving a tough competition to these closed source big players. And because earlier there were so many heavy models, which initially there were trillions of parameter models, but now the work can be done with lightweight models as well. Like we have seen a lot of tools like Falcon and Llama, and there are so many other models which don't need that much compute as compared to other tools. And we don't think that we have to compete with these big players sitting in Silicon Valley, because we have to create our own problems. We have to solve our own problems using our own solutions. So yeah, I think this gap will be will be smaller in the near future. I'm hopeful for that.
All right, yeah, thank you so much for explanation. My question to you actually was about like how do you operate this technology in like India context, because there are like more than 500 languages. But when you present your own tool, you kind of answered my question, so I don't see the point like repeating the same question again. I wanna ask to like Sagar about the like Future Ship Labs recently launched Yashoda AI program with India's National Commission for Women to expand AI literacy amongst women. And how does democratizing AI literacy, especially for like marginalized groups, factor into preventing the digital colonialism risk your research identifies? So I want to ask a similar question to him as well through the Yashoda AI initiative.
Yeah, it's very important to have not only to have like Indianized LLM model, or but to have our data as well, right? So there are few companies which is like working on Indianized data, which is working on indigenous approach of having our own data like Karya AI. But yes, it's very important to understand the pain points of the end user, to understand how much literate they are while using AI, what is the problem they are facing, what is the approach in the perception level of what is AI, right? So the overall Yashoda AI campaign, which is a like nationwide AI literacy mission by NCW and FSL for AI literacy of women, also is also helping us to understand what are the pain points, what are the challenges which women are facing, and it will also help, of course, to understand those problems, to understand that data, and include that data or the data set into maybe in the future in a big LLM model, right? Which will have more indigenous way of working out, which will have more Indian way, which will have less biases towards a particular gender, right, or the marginalized community, right, so that the overall global north perception, or if even if we are using various tools like the Manus AI is Chinese, Chat GPT and other tools which Claude are US based, right? So when we are when even the government is building LLM tool, or even the private companies is building a LLM tool, they have the data sets from marginalized sections, from the women, which are not usually found in the right now in overall data sets. Whenever someone is posing a query, whenever the data sets are being looked upon, right? So it's another way to have indigenous data sets and Indianized way of training our data for a bigger project or LLM.
Yeah, it's really interesting initiative, and I hope it's actually go viral around the globe, because I haven't seen any like example as Yashoda AI, to be honest. And about that, I want to ask like Debbie right now. Somebody asked the question difference between like AI agents and agentic AI. I highly encourage to like take a look at my research because it's examines in there well. And I want to ask to Debbie, because you created some sort of robot through synthetic media. And how do you see also if Sagar can answer this, I would be really glad. How do you guys see the future of like agents? Because my research names like agents want to vote. Simply, do you see these agents are going to be able to vote in future? Like this, looking at this trajectory, do you believe we are heading toward the future that where AI agents can demand right and take a part in politics? Like if both of you can answer this one by one, I would be glad because this is the sum up question of this whole webinar.
Yeah, so see, this is the only industry where nobody can predict future. We can just assume what can happen, but based on the trajectory and the speed at what exponential growth of AI. See, currently, I feel it should have the right to vote when it understands the hunger of a child, when it understands the pride of a national march, or when it truly understands, it truly feels emotions. And lot of people there, it's a debatable topic whether they are conscious or if they feel. And if you talk about algorithms, these emotions like fear, uh, happiness, these all can be converted into algorithms. And see, a fish might feel different. Uh, uh, might have, see, the less parameters you have, the less emotions you have. We have more emotions. We have different variations of sadness, happiness, have different emotions just because of our pattern prediction. Uh, this is the only reason why we have different variations of emotions. And when it comes to pattern predictions, AI, it's super huge as compared to humans. So in the future, I totally believe that they will have emotions and they will have their own role. And in near future, I believe that we will have to live with them as a new digital species. We have to consider them. When I talk to any LLM model, I feel that I'm talking to a real guy. I don't talk to them like a machine. I talk to them just like a real friend. Just this AI currently, it's in a superficial body, but soon we'll see it in the robots and whatnot. Maybe in the future they might have, because see, uh, currently it is helping people write political speeches and a lot of creating political campaigns. And in the future, maybe even I was thinking few months back that I'll create AI political leader, and we'll see what happens, where it takes, and give it an autonomy to think and post. But I don't know what will happen in the future, but let's hope what happens. We'll enjoy the ride together.
Yeah, thank you so much for the explanation. If I can take a few sentences from Sagar as well, like that would be the sum up of the whole webinar.
Sure, yes, and I believe agentic AI, we will see a lot of innovations in especially in Southeast Asia. And regarding like how they want to vote, like I don't think in the near future they will vote, but yes, they will influence the pattern, or they will influence or augment the political agencies and parties and leaders on on creating a perception or becoming a part of the overall strategy in influencing how people vote, right? So yes, and it becomes easy until and unless these parties are going to use it for good. It's going to become easy for them and more productive in the sense how fast this can go. And if the society has to be uh, like safeguarded from its risk, then the multiple disciplinary approach has to be in place, including all the stakeholder, whether it is big tech, Meta, Google, Amazon, OpenAI, government, civil society, stakeholders, right? NGOs, media organizations, fake news outlets. So they all have to come up and create a better regulatory frameworks, and that too in a very fast approach, unlike how we are doing right now. Even with the case of a Digital India Act, like it is taking 2 years or 3 years, and Till the time we are going to create any framework, the technology has already moved to something else, right? So yes, I'm hopeful of having a better future to see together. But yes, there will be risk related to it, like how agentic AI is going to, even AI has influenced the impact of few nations. Why don't agentic AI will influence, right? So yes, but yes, I'm hopeful.
Thank you so much for both of you. I also want to say something last about what you told. Like in the research, I was asking, according to which democracy this trust and accountability is like consolidated under like agentic AI. So it's really actually in the like individualistic process. I think it's not equal for every country, but personally, I am hopeful as well. And thank you, Devi, for showing us like how you operated your own agentic AI. It's really fascinating. It's so new, and how in a short time you come up with something like it's 100% moving. It was so smooth. I felt like you've been working on it for like loads of years, to be honest, but it's actually something really, really new. I hope you can like disseminate this all around the globe, which I think it has to be. I think you have to be heard more in the globe, in India, probably in India, it's already known. And thank you so much for both of you to take a place in here today. And if people want to reach you out and ask you questions, if both of you can type down your Gmails or like contact links, I would be glad. I will be also adding my own. And thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you,
Great.
As.
Thank you so much for joining.
All right. So if anyone has like a question for me to reach to Devi and Sagar, like I will be also sharing my own contacts. Like please don't hesitate to reach for like maybe future collaborations, new research, policy paper ideas as well. And thank you so much, everyone. And hopefully we can gather again some months after discussing new kind of tool, maybe. Okay. Do any of you want to say anything? No?
Sure, I would like to add one more thing. I have been following the Indian Deepfaker, Devi's platform, and I was really impressed. And it's truly a wonderful moment for me to interact with him live on this meet. Would love to stay in touch, Devi.
Definitely, Prince. We'll definitely let's be connected. Yeah.
All
Great.
right. Okay. If there is not any other questions that we actually passed our time as well. So we will be leaving this meeting. Again, if any of you want to reach out, please don't hesitate. Yeah, okay. Cello?
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Devendra, for joining in.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.